Games. The greatest creation known to man. Without these games, a lot of us will have to spend more time with family and IRL friends. And I don't know about y'all, but I refuse to do that. But with the year 2024 coming to an end, we are now getting into trailer territory for the year 2025. Nonetheless, it got me thinking about all the games we've seen over the years, the trailers, the gameplay reveals, how they showed us one thing, but we got something else. Like always, I am your host, TTG, and this is Never Trust Gameplay Reviews. Now, the first game to ever leave me with real disappointment was The Division. Now, I made an entire video about the game, so if you want to watch that, go ahead and click that card at the top right. But the first time seeing this game was at E3 2013, if memory serves me correctly, and I was more than blown away. Pause. Let's pause that. But we see the game take place in New York in the winter time, and I think it happens on Christmas Day. I could be wrong, but it looks beautiful. They are showing how the world map is on the ground in this 3D scan under your player. You got civilians walking around who are sick, dogs roaming around going through trash, and they showed a little bit how the multiplayer works with your friends, although they was kind of talking pretty weird.
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh, what's up, Chris? Welcome to the battle, dude.
Alright, group buff coming your way.
Okay, thanks.
Nice. Hold on, I'm getting shot at now.
And the thing that was the most impressive in that gameplay was how immersive and real it felt. And look, you could see the light shine through the police sign when the bullets shot through the wood. The door having a closing animation was a big deal back in 2013. It probably wouldn't be nothing people care about today, but back in 2013, that was something unheard of. And when they were looting the police station, the character even physically grabbed the water bottle and put it in his jacket. Like, it showed you this world will have a lot of depth to it, or at least it felt that way. You know, it was kind of like The Last of Us, the RPG. Like, this trailer did everything right. But I forgot Ubisoft were the devs of this game, and that's on me. Because one thing about Ubisoft, they could give you a good game at the cost of like 4 bad ones. And when we got the actual game, it was pretty much the complete opposite of everything we saw. Firstly, it was buggy as hell. I remember vividly how buggy that damn game was. Everything took forever to render. Like, you would walk into your base of operations and everything would be super low textured. Like, you would not be able to walk around. You have to sit there and wait for it to actually load in. The world was empty compared to what we seen in the E3 gameplay. And you remember that map I was talking about with the 3D scan that was on the floor? That was not nowhere near the same as what we seen. And this game had potential to be one of the best PvP RPG games I've ever seen. It's kind of like the E3 gameplay was The Division, but your mom said, we got The Division at home, and that's what we got. You know, that's what they gave us. They gave us The Division at home. And the same thing happened with Tom Clancy's other title, Rainbow Six Siege. Now, I should have known the game was lying when the damn magazine of the gun wasn't even in the gun. And then the hostage wasn't even looking like a random NPC. Like, the hostage was animated. She was looking at the camera trying to speak and get help. And they made her feel like a real individual you wanna save and get back to her family. Now we see that we have teams of 5v5, basically the good guys who are trying to retrieve the hostage and the bad guys who are defending the hostage and are trying to kill you before you get to her. The environment was destructible as hell and it looked so good. And you were able to even enter from the roof via helicopter. Who wouldn't want to do that? They also showed that the team that were holding the hostage, be able to move her from one room to another to get away from wherever you were, and you'll have to find them around in the house. You also had this camera that was small enough to be able to fit under the cracks of the door and sneak around so you can map out everything. So what changed in the release? Well, first and foremost, there is no helicopter spawn, like, at all. You cannot do that at any point in Rainbow Six. And maybe they took that out because of, I don't know, taking a lot of time from the game or something. Who knows? So that was the first bit of false advertising. And then there's a part in the gameplay reveal where the enemy is leaving outside of the house and the guy basically can't catch him.
There, he's right there.
Where?
He's outside. Wrath, watch out.
I'm looking.
Which is, again, nobody talks like that. 2, he easily could have just went out there and shot him. But in the actual game, anytime the people who are defending leave out of the house, they immediately get a marker over their head and it shows you where they are exactly if they go outside. So that's false advertising again. And then the hostage is completely different. They pretty much are super NPCs. Like, you know, it would have been fine if they showed that in the beginning, but They pretty much just sit there. If you put the drone towards them, they'll look at the drone and move around a little bit, but they don't do anything. And one of the funniest things is how the drone in the gameplay demo was like a small stick. It looked like something you could just put in your damn back pocket. But in the final build, it's this big ass thing on wheels. Like, look at this, what they showed us versus what we got. Now again, this is okay, whatever. But why are you making it seem as if this is what the game gonna look like? And of course, I understand things change in games. They don't always stay the same, blah, blah, blah. But I'm tired of games showing us things that we never get to actually play in the game. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, you can't even move the hostage from one room to another like they showed in the gameplay reveal. So when this game was actually out, I believe a lot of people had a bunch of issues, and it took years for them to make this game good and fun. So it's a game that I played today after coming back to years later. Kind of the same with Cyberpunk. This game had everything. It was something I've never thought I'll see in my days. And of course, I recently made a video about this, so I won't go into detail, and you could just watch that video by clicking the top right card. But I'll sum it up in about 20 seconds. We get like this cinematic trailer, and we don't see the game for years. After that, we get an actual look of the game. They start showing like 40 minutes of gameplay and talking about the world, the things you could do in it. It looked amazing. But upon release, all of that was completely changed. The game was practically unplayable. I legit had to force myself to finish the story because the story was so damn good that I just was like, you know what? Let's thug it out. Let's play this through, and I would never touch this game again. And that's exactly what I did. But as time progressed, they started to fix it. They started to fix a lot of the game. It became playable. It started to actually look good. And it's a game that I enjoy till this day. But now, although Rainbow Six and Cyberpunk are two games that had a horrible start, they are still games I play today. But a game I would not go back to under any circumstances is the biggest letdown in gaming history, Anthem. This game deserves hate forever. I don't care. When I have kids, I'm going to teach my kids to hate this game. Their first word will be, I hate Anthem. And do you know why? Do you know why? Well, I will tell you. The first thing we see is an amazing exosuit. It looks beautiful. Chef's kiss. And they also tell you there's different types of exosuits for different types of playstyles. For example, you got the brute, and then you got the balanced one. I forgot what the other two was, but it doesn't even matter. The point is, there's something for everybody, which is great. And then we see in the world, it kind of gave me some Star Wars vibes. You flying around, we see the wildlife that we could fight, and you're even able to go underwater to flank enemies. And they also had a mechanic where when you fly a lot, your suits overheat. So for you to cool your suit down, you have to go under a waterfall or in the water. That was fire. That was something, that was just a cool little concept. And speaking of the water, it looked wonderful. It looked great. The flying looked so damn fun, and I don't think there's ever been a game that just allowed you to fly around, get in a fight, and then just fly back off. I don't think there has been. And like I said, this gave me Star Wars vibe, but like mixed with something. It was like mixed with I don't know. I don't have a comparison, but it was great. It looked beautiful. So what did we get on release? Well, of course, I will tell you. In the beginning of the gameplay reveal, you see a bunch of NPCs. You see them roaming around, blah, blah, blah. That drastically changed. Drastically was downgrading. The lighting was bland. And all of the NPCs you even talked to just felt dry with no personality. The game still visually looked good, but it was nothing to look at. Did that make sense? When you create your character, there was only presets. You couldn't even really do nothing. You couldn't change your hair or nothing. You just pick one of the characters that they made. And a part of me is like, okay, I understand that because you're in a suit, you're not really going to be looking at your character. But at the same time, I want to be able to personalize the character my way and make it feel like my character. And once again, in the gameplay reveal, flying around, you can see how full the world is and how the environment was just beautiful. Amazing. But of course, on release, all of that was downgraded drastically, and it pisses me off because it was little stuff like, as you see here in this screenshot, look at the trees, look at the grass, right? Beautiful. And then you see here in the actual game, completely different. Like, why is it like that? Why does it look like that? I don't understand. Why do we do this to fans? Why do we do this to people who are supporters of your games? But I shouldn't even believe this game because it was published by EA. The exosuits were great. They had potential. The concept of the actual game was amazing. And the potential of it overall was high. Could have been something amazing. It could have been a top 5 game. But like most of these games, it didn't live up to the hype. It just got boring so damn quick and felt so pointless to even play. It was the biggest waste of $60 I've ever spent on a game. But there just has to be like a degree you study to be tricking the gamers like this over and over and over again. And it's these types of heartbreak that makes me learn more about the developers or the publishers and the things that they show and what to look for in gaming trailers and gameplay reveals, just so I never have to deal with that type of heartbreak again. If it wasn't for these type of games, I will fall for the trap continuously. I wouldn't even have known who makes what, because I used to always believe all these games as a kid just because that's what they told me. Why would they lie to me, right? They're a multi-billion-dollar company. There's no reason they would lie. At least that's what I used to think. And then I grew up and I realized, of course they will lie. Of course this is what they would do, because they're trying to sell us a product and make money off of our backs. So in return, I just stop buying certain games. I don't give them the time of day. So, moral of the story, nobody talks the way that they do in these gameplay reveals. So please stop doing that. No one speaks like that.
Oh, come on. Be something good. Oh, yes. Jared's Wrath.
Oh, nice.
Believe what you believe with a grain of salt. Just be careful, because these companies lie. Because a wise man once said, looks can be deceiving. Except for this. Believe this. Everything you see about this, believe. I don't care. I don't care if it ain't true. Believe it. Believe it. Manifest it. I want this game. Okay, I'm going to start talking about GTA 6.